It's Joe Crump. This video is about how to effectively work your leads that you get from the Automarketer. There's three types of leads that you're going to get from the Automarketer. You're going to get people that respond and say yes. You're going to get people that respond and say no. And you're going to get people that don't respond at all. Especially when you're getting started, you want to contact them all. And once you get really good at this, you're going to have somebody else contact them all for you. But at the beginning, you're going to be the one that's contacting everybody because you need to get good at it and you need practice at it. And you need as many leads as you can get. The more leads you have, the more likely it is you're going to put a deal together. If you don't have enough leads in the area that you're working, expand the area that you're working. Do another campaign. You don't have to work in your local area. They don't have to be close to you. So if it's not ideal, what you're trying to accomplish is not ideal. Let's say you want to buy properties that you want for your portfolio. You may want to buy properties that are under $250,000, and you may be in an area that the average price range is $400,000 or $500,000. That may not be the best place to buy properties for your portfolio. Or if you're only looking to flip properties, then maybe you can make more money by being in a high-end market. So let's say you're in Los Angeles, you can do $600,000 properties, and you can make $20,000 or $30,000 off of a lease option instead of making $5,000 after a $50,000 property that you might get in Southern Illinois. So you have to decide which area that you're going to work depending on what you're trying to accomplish. But you still want to learn how to put these deals together, and you want to figure out the best way to make that happen. So let's say you've got these different campaigns that you're doing, and you've got leads that are coming in from each one of these campaigns, and those leads are going to go into your lead management system when they contact you. And some of those people are going to say yes, and some of those people are going to say no. And then, of course, some people are not going to contact you at all. And I wanted to show you which ones to do and which ones to call first. Very few first people you call is just get in here and find people that say anything that looks like a yes. This message is a no. And 80 to 90% of your leads are going to be no. And then 10 to 20% are going to be yes, maybe, give me $10,000, something along those lines, something else. The yes people are the ones that you want to call right away. As soon as they contact you, call them right back. The no people, you want to put those people into your power dialer campaign. So take all the no's and put them into a power dialer campaign. And you can do that by selecting the leads that are in that particular group that you've got, simply by checking on this box, add them to the selected power dialer campaign, and then go to the power dialer campaign and make those calls. And you can call them one after the other, and it'll speed up the process to call those people. And it'll make it really easy to make that happen. Once you've called the no's, then you're going to want to talk to the system leads. The system leads are in a different place. These are people that have not responded to any of your communication, but you scraped the ad, you paid for the scrape ad, and you've got that ad, you've got the information about the property. You might as well call those people as well. And we find that a lot of people, they may not respond to a text message, but they might respond to a phone call and put a deal together that way. So the way you get your system leads is you go over here to system leads and you click on, and then you hit search, and you'll pull up all your system leads. Now, as you can see, I've got a lot of system leads. These are people that have never responded to any of the campaigns that we've sent out, but they can all be called. And what we do is put them into power dialer campaigns, and then we assign them to specific team members that we've got. And have campaigns set up for specific team members where they can access only those power dialer campaigns. They go on and they start calling those people and going through the seller questionnaire with them, getting all the details about the property. And then we have somebody who's more skilled go in and close those deals. So it makes it a little bit easier and more time efficient and less expensive to put those leads and those deals together. But if you're just getting started, call the yeses first, call the no's second, and then get on here and call all the system leads and make that stuff happen as well. Because if you do that, if you make these calls, the experience that I've had is that it takes most of my students that work with me personally in the mentor program, it takes them 3 or 4 months to be able to put together their first deal. Some people get lucky and it happens sooner than that. Some people do it in a week. Um, but they're the exception, not the rule. And it's usually because they were lucky and not because they were good. And you have to learn to be good at this, because the second deal, you may not be as lucky. You're going to have to put the time in eventually to learn how to do this. It's great when you get lucky because it gives you energy and it gives you money and makes you feel good, makes you feel like this is all possible. The people that have to go through that whole 3 months or 4 months or sometimes 5 or 6 months before they actually learn how to do it, it can be hard and it can be frustrating and it can make you feel like you're beating your head against the wall. So be patient with the process and don't give up before you actually learn how to do it, because it will work. I guarantee it, if you go through the process and you get better. You know, the idea is to fail and then fail better. Every time you do this, get a little bit better at the process, get 1% better. And after you've made 100 calls, you're going to be a whole lot better than you were when you started. And you're going to start to be able to speak to these people eloquently. You're going to be able to speak to them and listen to their problem and be able to solve their problem and figure out what their options are, and use the tools in the Automarketer to help you do that. Because in the seller questionnaire, there's a way for people to, you can go in there and you can see what the seller options are, and you can actually read the pros and the cons and the analysis of that particular, that particular process, and help those people make their decision. You don't have to make a decision for anybody. You don't have to twist anybody's arm. All you have to do is help them understand what the situation is, and then they can decide what makes the most sense for them. You want them to do what's in their best interest. You want to have a business where you're actually solving problems for people and making their life better, and treating those people like they were family, like they were loved ones. Because if you can do that, you're going to have a much better life, and you're going to enjoy what you're doing, and you're going to have people who love you and hug you and thank you for solving the problem, rather than trying to screw some old lady out of the equity in her home that she was going to give to her kids. There's better ways to do this and still be able to find great deals and make that happen. All right. I hope that helps. Good luck. And if you like this channel, subscribe to it. Go to joecrump.com and sign up for my free newsletter. Push Button Automarketer is the name of this software, and zerodowninvesting.com is the place where you can find out more about my personal mentor program, where I work with people for 6 months and work with them personally. All right, I hope that helps. Good luck. Take care.